What's going on, guys? Back at it with another podcast. Today, here with my good friend Brian. So, Brian, just tell us a little bit about yourself.
Sure. Justin, thanks for having me. Happy to be on the pod. Just some background for those who are listening to this. Justin and I go way back a long time. I am good friends with his brother, my current roommate. Justin, I coached him in basketball camps. I coached his basketball team. I've known this guy for a long time. So it's crazy to see what this guy's doing now, having his own freaking podcast. But yeah, thanks for having me. Introduce myself, sure. Brian Lewis. I am from Comac, New York on Long Island. 26 years old, be 27 in June. I currently live in New York City. I work in sales. And that's it. I'm happy to be here.
Awesome. So, you started this challenge or fundraiser called 5031. And
That's right, baby.
I try and
Say it
participate.
again. What's it called?
5031 for everyone in the
Okay,
back.
there you go.
It's a struggle to complete it. Not gonna lie, but this year I'm putting my full
Have
force.
you done it before?
I haven't completed it, but I've done it.
Okay. All
So
right.
now that
0 for 1 or 0 for 2?
I go for 2.
0 for 2. Damn. Well, here's the good news. If you do it this year, you go 1 for 3, and that's a Hall of Fame number. Those are Hall of Fame numbers in baseball. You
33%,
you do something well 30% of the time, you get in the Hall of Fame. Not necessarily how I operate, but in this situation, it's a positive spin for you here.
Damn right. Now, just tell us a little bit of background about how 5031 came about and how it started.
Sure. So 5031 started as a friendly, kind of competitive challenge amongst my group of like 7 friends from school in 2020. And it was like, the challenge is to run 50 miles in 1 month. And my friends did it, and we all put 200, we all Venmo one person $200 each. And the only way you got your money back was if you finished. So like, that's a lot of money. Like you're not gonna not finish. Like that was the motivation at the time. It was a really good like competitive thing amongst all of us, and like it was fun to be like, oh, like Justin's at like 10.4, Brian's at 8.2. Like I gotta get my ass moving. I'm not gonna lose to Justin. Like this guy, come on, no way, right? So that's how it started. And like I'm all about that. I'm a very competitive guy. Like grew up playing sports and all that stuff. So like very competitive, very driven person. Like
New York City Shooters.
That's right, baby. Shout out to the Shooters. We love that one. Definitely throw that one in there. But yeah, very competitive thing. And then the following year, we wanted to do it again. And then honestly, like someone just kind of said, like, maybe we should do this for charity. And I said, sure, that's a good idea. And the charity I chose was the National Brain Tumor Society. It was an easy choice for me because I lost my dad to brain cancer when I was 10. Never worked with them before, but a friend of mine from home lost her mom to the same thing. And I knew she had some communication with them. So she put me in touch. And in 2021, we did it in March. This 5031 challenge. I think there were over 370 participants that did it. I don't remember how many finished. Not everyone finishes, but that's the goal. You push yourself.
Definitely one didn't finish.
I know at least one didn't finish over here. I know there are a lot of people though, so don't worry. But obviously, we want everyone to finish. Like you shouldn't start something you're not going to finish it the way I see it. But 2021, I think it was like 370-ish people did it, signed up, and then I think we raised just about like just shy of $30,000 that first year. So that was good. And then what you say? Sorry.
Good starting spot.
Yeah, totally. I mean, honestly, like there was one, and like I guess I'll speak to like since doing this, like you meet a lot. I've met a lot of people who I didn't know before who have had no family members, friends impacted from the same disease, the same cancer, including one of my good friends from college whose dad had an aneurysm, which is a brain tumor years ago. Guy donated $10,000 to this thing, which is real money. Like so obviously that was a big starting point there. And then last year I did the same exact thing, 50 miles, 31 days. We moved it back from March to May. Couple reasons, 2 main reasons. Number one, May is warmer. The number one excuse I got from people was it's too cold. So I don't listen to that one anymore. And the second one is that May is Brain Tumor Awareness Month. So I was like, you know what? It just makes too much sense. Yeah. And that's it. So yeah, that's high level, me, 5031. And yeah.
So kind of going off this, like meeting people, networking, what is like I guess, one of your goals in providing this challenge to the public, doing it for yourself, doing it for other people? What is that one of your main goals in providing this challenge?
Good question. So my goals are, one, to raise money, to raise awareness. And like, this is what I'm about to say is crazy, but I don't know who said it, but if your goals aren't crazy, then like your goals aren't really goals, right? So
I said on my last podcast.
Okay, how about that? Same page. You can't teach that. But like, in a perfect world, like, could you imagine like there is a fucking cure for
Yeah.
brain cancer, like, and I had something to do with it, like, and actually like maybe change the world? Like, that's outlandish to say out loud. But that, like,
But
why is
yeah,
that an unrealistic goal? You know what I mean? Like, if you
especially
continue
with
to
the
do this
money
every
you're
year over
raising. Yeah.
time, like over time, why not? So that's like the high end goal. Because if you can cure it, then like kids like me don't have to lose their
Yeah.
dad to brain cancer when they're 10 and grow up. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
it is what it is. Life is life. But if there's any way I can maybe change it, so that's a high level, like that's a real crazy goal. Other goals I have now are just like, I don't know. We live in this world where people are just like just make so many excuses for themselves. I'm really not the type of person. Yeah, sure, whatever. But like I'm trying to push people to do something different. Like
Mhm.
I'm trying to challenge people. Like I think we live in this participation trophy world, right? Where everyone gets
Oh,
a pat on the back and you can everything, I don't know. So I'm here to like push people, challenge people.
yeah.
That's how I like to be challenged, like to do something
Yeah.
so I want to get people up, get people moving, get people in shape. I think health is like a real like thing that people really don't take seriously enough. But if
Yeah.
you're running 50 miles or, a lot of people like, who can't physically run the 50 miles, walk 50 miles, that's physical activity. And if you're being physically active, you're not sitting, you're getting up, moving your heart, like I'm all about that too. So, and then honestly, I'll go on like my goals are just to like kind of like impact the lives of people, like
Yeah.
doing what I like. If people are like, there's people that have done this challenge in the past that are now running marathons and have
Mhm.
never ran before. Like that's cool to me. So
Yeah.
like seeing stuff like that, the impact that it's had is cool to me.
Yeah. Definitely kind of what you said, like pushing people to go further. It's good that I have this personal connection with you because what last 2 years that you've done it, get a text every couple days. How you doing, Justin? Sorry, Brian, I haven't done it.
And then it gets so yeah, and then it's like I if it were me and the roles were reversed, like I would feel like obligated to do
Yeah.
it. Like you don't want to let people down. You don't want to like you want to hold yourself
Yeah.
accountable. That's what this is all about too. Like, are you able to be
Yeah.
accountable? Are you able to be disciplined? That sort of thing. Which is like all like I'm literally about to look at my wall. You probably laugh. Like I have this thing. It says success nutrition facts. I look at it every day. Hustle, focus, persistence, discipline, failure, risks, and patience. Like those are like words I look
Yeah.
at and I like kind of live by.
Yeah. And it's like I remember I think I even have a video of it last year. I was running on the track like kind of late at night and I was like to get back on pace, I need to run like 6 miles or something. And um it's gonna sound a little funny, but my friend from school, he made some music, still unreleased. Pans, I don't know what you're doing, but released the music, and the song is called Risks, and I listened to it on repeat, and it's not like about taking risks kind of thing. It's like, but like it is, and I literally ran around the track screaming, like literally just screaming,
What a
pushing.
psycho.
Yeah, I felt like a psychopath. There was this one lady who was walking, probably was like, "What the hell is this kid doing?" But it's like that pushing the motivation, that physical health, the mental health, it's all like a part of it. Cause after I did it, I was like, damn, like I feel accomplished in myself that I was able to do it. And
Dude, listen, there's a lot of people who are sitting at home right now who like don't feel good about like their body, their health.
Mhm.
You want to change it? Change it. Like, don't make excuses for yourself. Get up and run the 50 miles. I promise you, you will feel a lot better about yourself.
Oh, 100.
Challenging yourself to do something, creating like a plan, a routine, the discipline, like going out and doing it. Like, and the feet, and I swear, people, this go back to goals. Like, people have told me, like, dude, like, this is so good for me. I'm so into it. Like,
Mhm.
you don't do that unless you do something new and step outside your comfort zone.
Yeah.
And like, a lot of people don't like I'm a very like blunt like person and a lot of people don't push people enough. Like I like to be like, go back to sports. Like I don't mind getting yelled at. Like it's just gonna like
Yeah.
fuel me. Like, you know what I mean? Like so I definitely like hold a lot of people. I try to hold like a lot of people in my circle accountable and I want them to hold me accountable too.
Yeah.
So like it, I don't know. It's a good thing. Like go up and donate. Like you're doing it for a good cause. Like
Yeah.
it's a good reason to do something new and try something different and not just live your dumbass fucking basic life
Yeah.
that you live every day that you post on Instagram. Like I get it, you're sick, but like, are you really that cool or like are you just telling yourself that? Like, you know what I mean? Like,
The
and there's a
social
lot of
media
people
part.
out there
Yeah.
who are watching it. who are doing the exact same things. And I promise you, like doing this is a new challenge, and you will reap the benefits from it.
Yeah, no, and it's definitely like, again, if you don't want to go to the gym because like you feel like insecure, I don't know.
That's me. I don't go to the gym. I am definitely afraid of the gym. Like dudes in the gym, like hot girls in the gym, like all that shit is met. Like I can't. I'm scrawny, dog. Like I can't lift a lot. Like that's not my vibe. I can go out and run all day, play basketball all day. Like I find other ways to stay in shape.
Yeah,
It's not just like going to the gym. There's other ways to
yeah,
get up and be active.
yeah. I think that's one of the another big thing with this too. It's if you feel that insecurity, it's a way to, I don't even know what the correct word would be like, but fuel the insecurity to get over it. Because now if you feel like you're a little overweight, now you're running 50 miles, you're gonna lose weight. Like 100%, I've done it, and it's like probably scientifically proven somehow if I did enough research on it. But then now a month later, you're feeling like you can get back in the gym, and now you don't have to feel insecure about going to the gym.
Yeah.
And then personally, I can speak from experience, your mental health aspect will definitely like be much better when you're doing all the physical activity.
Well, that's part of it too. I told some guys the same thing. Like there's definitely a direct correlation between physical health and mental health.
Yeah.
Like so, and like I'm a very like regimented person. Like I like you can ask anyone who knows me. Like I like have a schedule and stuff like that. Like you have to make time for those things. Like to take care of yourself. Your health is the only thing you have. I just saw like I think it was on Twitter a quote. I think it was from the movie like Lansky, which Meyer Lansky is like a mob accountant. But the quote was like, "You can lose your money, but you don't really lose anything. Your health is all you have, so take care
Yeah.
of it physically and mentally." And I think if you can physically take care of it, you will feel better mentally.
Yeah. So going on to like kind of the next question, what would be some of your like your highlights of doing 50-31 so far in the couple years you've been doing it?
I think we've talked like I'll just reiterate some of the things you already talked about. That like I've raised a lot of money, like not, and I don't want to say I have along with a lot of others have raised a lot of money, like close to $70,000. That's a lot of money, right? Like
Yeah, it's
over this, we'll probably hopefully break another 30K this year, and then at the end of this year, we look back and say over the last 3 years we raised $100,000 for cancer research, right?
yeah,
Okay, if this thing continues to grow and grow and grow, now in a couple of years when I get back on this podcast, we're going to be talking about how we raised millions of dollars.
yeah,
And then in 20 years, when you're running the social media world and I'm curing cancer, we're going to be back here and have a laugh on this conversation. You know what I mean?
living in our big mansion somewhere.
Yeah, that's the dream, right? I mean, and then back to what I said before, like the impact that this has had on people's lives of like, dude, like I feel so good after I ran 50 miles. I'm so like my lifestyle has changed. Like I'm running half marathon this month. Like you got me into it. Thank you so much for pushing me. Like, and these are people like a random girl I worked with senior year of college, like is posting about 50-31. Like she's in like I don't even know if I follow her. Like and like someone's sending it to me, like, dude, like this is sick. Like,
Yeah,
yeah, that is sick. Like seeing the impact that it's had on people's lives that like and then honestly, like, we go back to the social media shit, like everyone's posting what they do all the time, like whatever. Like I'm actually trying to use my platform to do something good.
yeah,
And like I'm trying to actually do something good like with my life and just get better every day. And the way I do that is just by pushing people to do something different like this. And then the feedback I've gotten is good. Like, what I said before about like people getting healthy and stuff like that. So that's all good feedback too.
have you, like you said earlier, you met some like good people and you've met people that you never thought you'd talk to? Would you care to elaborate on some of those people that you've spoken to?
Absolutely. I literally have a list. I'm a big list guy. You can ask the people I know. I have a lot of lists of a lot of different things. Let your mind run away with that one. I literally have a list of in my phone, just 17 people that I know, like personally, who I know, like who I've just kind of interacted with. And I actually think it's closer to 2025. Like there's some people I left off who have been affected by like a brain, someone in their life has either had a brain tumor or died of a brain tumor. Give an example, like Christian's baby cousin was born with one. Like that's just like literally my roommate, right? Like my boss, my VP at work, his brother had something like that. One of my best friends from college, Mike Bray, coaching Notre Dame basketball. I think his brother had one too. I actually like cold called him last year.
Really?
I do a lot of that with work. So just random people, like I have just kind of have like a random. I don't know how I had his number. Someone had it and gave it to me. Cold called him. Literally, hi, Coach Bryce is Brian Lewis. Like I know this is crazy, but like I do this thing like, and he was like, "Oh, I'm all in. That's great." Like my brother had brain tumor. Like no problem. Made me a video. Like nicest guy in the world. You know what
That's
I mean? It's like
awesome.
just like people like that one of my interns at work last summer, so that just to get like a random dude who I play pickup basketball with one time DM me, was like, yo, Brian, like I heard like just like people like that, like you don't even realize like
Yeah.
really like how many people, like I swear to God, I never knew like how many people have brain tumors, like
Yeah.
it's kind of a niche cancer, right? So like, and I know that here's 20 people with it, you know what I mean? So my barber, his like uncle, he was just telling me like it's crazy. It really is.
Yeah. Kind of on the flip side of highlights, have you had to face any adversity when starting up or even the going through it besides, I guess, the mental aspect of finishing the 50 miles?
So I would say like the adversity I've had with this, like other than the physical part, you mean, right? Like just the
Yeah, other
challenge
than like
itself.
actually having to
Yeah,
run
yeah,
50
yeah.
miles.
That's the easy part, running the 50
Yeah.
miles. The hard part is I use the Nike Run Club app. And for those who are watching and listening, download the Nike Run Club app, and there's a public link. But I've had issues with like last year was like you had to download the app, add me as a friend. I had to accept you
Yeah.
and then request you. Now I have this public link that's like in my link tree in my Instagram, right? And like now it takes you to the app store. So like you hear what I'm saying, right? Like there's
Yeah.
like that's well out of my control. I'm not,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? So like that sort of thing. General like tracking of everything. Like I wish I could like track like the 11,000 views that like the video I just the Sunday Swim 5031 video had. Like I wish I could track. Like I have, you're gonna see you've seen before like the 600 names in the challenge last year. Who are I don't know all these people at all. Like
Yeah.
I only know so many of them because this is just a word of mouth thing. It's a social media thing. So the tracking of all this, like I'm not like I don't like I'm not a I don't know how to do any of this. Like this just kind of happened. None of this was
Yeah.
planned out. Like it just happened like this. So these are the challenges I face with the challenge itself. And then like I just mentioned before, like so much of this is out of my control. So I try not to stress about it too much. And that would be like another piece of just like general advice I have for people who are like struggling with everyday life. Like there's only so much you can control. So control what you can control and don't stress about what you can't control. Because if you do, like, I do this all the time. Like you're just gonna go crazy. So
Yeah, it's kind of you just gotta overthink everything and then
oh yeah, textbook. I mean, if you looked at my Twitter feed right now, I am not exaggerating. Like this is dead serious. The first tweet I look at is wealth. This is now like the algorithm, right? And the For You page. Overthinkers, open this thread. Literally, I'm looking at it right now, and I'm not joking. That is literally exactly what it says. Like, so like that's literally me. I do it a lot, but this challenge is designed to make you do something different and put your mind to something and do it and get it done and feel good about yourself while
what
you're raising money for a good cause and hopefully changing the world.
what do you think out of 5031, someone who, let's put aside the physical aspects, or even if they don't want to do it for the fundraising part of it and just want to do it, what do you think would draw some interest to just running the 50 miles, like in general?
Good question. Well, first of all, I encourage everyone to donate. It's good to give back and do something good with the the resources we have in the world. To answer your question, like the first thing that comes to my mind, I believe in like my instincts a lot, by the way, like a new hobby, something to do, right? Like I people ask like, what are your hobbies? What are your interests? You like the Mets, right? Like, is that really hot? Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
but what are your hobbies? Like, what do you do? What do you like to do? What interests you? What gets you going? Like, and like when you're single and talking to girls, like you can't be talking about the freaking Mets and the Knicks, you know what I mean? So you got to have like a conversation. You got to be able to like relate with people,
Unless
like
they like the Mets too.
unless they like the Mets too, whatever. But so like the first, like I'm not necessarily a runner by any means, but like a couple times a month I'll get out there and do it. And it's just good, like
Yeah.
I'm just get up and do it. Like it's a good little thing to pick up. You meet a lot of people doing it. You can see a lot of pretty people, running too. And then like I just think that if you're feeling down, you're feeling like stagnant, if you're feeling like you want something new, if you're looking in the mirror and you're feeling insecure about your health, about your body, whatever, like that's fine. You have every right to. If you want to change it, this is an opportunity to. This is an opportunity to do something different, try something new, challenge yourself to like get something done, to push yourself, hold yourself accountable. If these are like, I really challenge people right now, like to think about, do you do these sorts of things?
Yeah.
Because a lot of people don't. I'd say most people don't. I'm personally someone who really is into that sort of thing because I'm just trying to get a little bit better every day.
Yep.
And that's what I think you can get out of this if you know, to answer your question.
So, what kind of motivation would you provide to people that want to do it but are scared to do this challenge?
If you're hit me up, like I'm willing to have I'm a very conversational person. I am willing to hear you out, and all I ask is you're willing to hear me out too and listen to what I have to say. And if you're scared, that's fine. You know, it's okay to be scared, but I think it goes back to what you said before about taking risks. I think if you're feeling scared, feeling nervous, sometimes you know you got to risk it to get the biscuit, baby. You know, you got to take risks. You got to step outside your comfort zone. You got to try new things. It's the only way we're going to get better as people and evolve. So that's what I would say to those people.
Yeah, one of my biggest things actually, Jord helped me really figure out this saying that I love to say, because I was saying uncomfortability, but I found out that's just not a word. But so shout out Jord, appreciate it.
Smart guy, really, really smart guy.
Real smart guy. My one of my biggest sayings that now one of my biggest sayings now that I figured out how to say it, or Jordan figured out how to say it, it's get comfortable with being uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And I think that probably put on a shirt. Never know. But
you know, it's funny you say that. Like I was taught that at work a few years ago, and I remember that phrase pretty. I know that one. I like that one too. It's totally true. Like in my everyday life, you know, you gotta like you know my job. Like I'm in sales, you gotta ask like challenging questions sometimes to people that might make you feel uncomfortable, but you have to do it. Like that's life. Not everything. You're not gonna be comfortable in every single situation you're in, and like you have to be able to adapt to the situations in which you're uncomfortable with. And I think that's like a good, you know, judgment of character. Like it can kind of show your character based on that.
So now putting 50-31 aside, putting jobs aside, what is just some motivation that you would just give to someone walks up to you on the street, random person, and says, I'm really struggling today. What can you help me out with? Give me some motivation. What would you say to that person in that moment?
Look around, appreciate what you have in this world because not every day is guaranteed. Okay. I think I'm like a believer in like wake up and smell the roses. Look to your left, look to your right. Everyone's got something going on in their own way, right? Like it could always be worse, you know, like it really can be. Like I know, like think about it. Like you're a college kid sitting in Oneonta doing a podcast. Like I know, like sometimes life gets hard, right? But at the end of the day, like dude, like it's all good, man. Like you can't take life so seriously. You got to be able to laugh at yourself. You got to be able to take a step back and take a breath, right? And if you do those things, if you appreciate what you got in this world, if you understand, you know, that not everything is going to be easy, it's not supposed to be easy. I think that's a good way to spin things in a positive direction.
Well, Brian, love what you said there. It's awesome.
Of course, man. It's about to be the best pod you ever had.
Better be. Better blow it up.
With me posting this shit on mine, we're about to blow your ass up. But no, I'm excited. I think I'm definitely gonna put this out there, and it'll be cool.
Brian, thanks for coming on. It was awesome speaking to you. I'm sure I'll see you at home. 50-31, everyone. Founder Brian Lewis.
JD, thanks for having me, man. Really cool to see what you're doing. It wasn't too long ago. Sorry to embarrass you a little bit. You were the short little pudgy kid annoying the hell out of me at basketball camp. So really cool to see you doing this sort of thing. Proud of what you're doing. Keep doing it. And then, I mean, if you don't finish 50-31 this year, we're not going to be friends anymore. So get it done. Everyone out there who's listening, thanks for listening. Go run the 50 miles, raise money for the National Brain Tumor Society. Let's make it happen, baby. Come on.
Let's go, baby. 50-31. I'll see you guys soon.